Good morning. It's Ronan from Little Seal English. And for the next 1 hour, I am going to teach you a whole bunch of different phrasal verbs. So sit back, put your feet up, relax, drink some coffee, smoke a joint, snort a line of coke for all I care. But just rest assured, for 1 hour, we got phrasal verbs coming at you. Here we go.
Ni hao. It's pretty hot. I've been hiking for a few hours and I came across this cooling station. So I'm going to go for a dip to cool down. I'm going to go for a dip to cool off. So when your body temperature is too high, you need to cool down, you need to cool off. Have some ice cream, an ice cold beer, or jump into one of these fantastically provided and 100% clean cooling stations. Yeah, I'm gonna cool off in here. What's your favorite way to cool off or cool down when you're too hot?
Do you remember The Walking Dead? That show was great. That show was amazing. Season 1, Season 2, absolutely fantastic. And then afterwards, it kind of fizzled out. Season 3 was good, Season 4 it went downhill, and then it kept going downhill. So for me, I might say The Walking Dead was great at the start, but then it fizzled out. It became less popular, it became less entertaining. If something fizzles out, it gradually reduces in popularity. Can you think of anything else that has fizzled out? Let me know.
Oh, which one was it? Cocaine or marijuana? Cocaine or marijuana? Which one will help me doze off and which one will help me stay up? To doze off, to stay up. Two phrasal verbs related to sleep. For example, if you doze off, you fall asleep gradually, sometimes by accident. You better not drive any further, you might doze off and crash your car. Now, if you stay up, you don't go to sleep. For example, in college, it was easy to stay up all night, but now I doze off any moment I get. So, my name is Ronan, and I don't want to doze off. Therefore, coffee. To doze off is to fall asleep, and to stay up is to not go to sleep. Two phrasal verbs.
To be really coming down. So, as you can see, I'm covered in snow. I've only been outside for about 5 minutes, but it is really coming down. Basically means there's a lot of snow and it's very heavy. So I could say it's snowing, I could say it's really snowing, or I could just say it's really coming down right now. I do kind of love it though.
Oh boy, the sun just came out. I've been in this cabin all morning. It has been chill. It has been relaxed. There's been grey clouds everywhere. But right now, the sun has just come out. Come out is a phrasal verb, which means appear. And right now, the sun has appeared. And here's another phrasal verb. Because the sun has come out, I'm going to pop out. I'm going to pop out and get some sun. I'm going to pop out and go for a walk in the sun. So there's two phrasal verbs for you. The first one is to come out. The sun came out. And the second one is I'm going to pop out, which means I'm going to go outside. See you later, guys. I'll be back when the sun goes away. Peace.
Morning, you beautiful people. To binge.
is a verb, which means that you're gonna do something a lot, like in an excessive amount. So right now, I'm on quarantine. I just traveled internationally. So right now, I can't really do much, so I'm binging on The Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna binge on Band of Brothers right after that. What is a TV show that you binge on? What is a TV show that you watch non-stop? To burn yourself out. If you burn yourself out, you work too much. Burnout is a phrasal verb. For example, John burnt himself out. He worked 100 hours in 1 week. He is absolutely exhausted. He worked too much. He overworked himself. He burnt himself out. If you want to give advice to a friend who's working too much, you can say, hey, you need to be careful you don't burn yourself out. If you burn yourself out, you won't have any energy for anything, not just work. So long story short, to burn out is a phrasal verb, which means you overwork yourself and then you've no more energy to do anything at all. Burn out. Phrasal verb.
Here we go again. And today it is to butter up. You look great. Have you lost weight? Oh my God, that top really suits you. To butter up is to give somebody a load of compliments because you want something. So if I'm going to butter you up, I'm going to tell you that you look great, that your cologne smells amazing, that your BO is just the best, it's the bee's knees. And then I'm going to ask you for a raise.
To fill you in. Let me fill you in about my last 3 weeks. Long story short, I've been on vacation. I went to Ireland to visit my family and to visit my friends. It was absolutely amazing there. After Ireland, I came back to Canada, which is a beautiful country. So beautiful, my sister decided to visit. So she came over to Canada and we took a road trip up north. We got to go to hot springs, we hiked in a glacier, we climbed a mountain, we got rained off the mountain, we went to a lot of breweries, we saw a bear, and we even saw the bear climb a tree. It was really cool. So, that was me filling you in on the last 3 weeks. To fill someone in is to tell them the information they've missed. Let me fill you in about the weekend. Can you fill me in about the meeting I missed? So, if you miss something, ask a person, hey, can you fill me in on what I missed?
My name's Ronan, and this weekend, I'm gonna chill the fuck out. I'm not gonna relax. I'm not gonna chill. I'm gonna chill the fuck out. This weekend, I plan to chill the fuck out. Tomorrow morning, I'm not getting up early. To chill the fuck out is to have like a super relaxing weekend where you practically do nothing. And I can't wait. What do you do when you want to chill the fuck out?
What's up?
Hey, check this out.
There we go. Isn't this a nice spot? Isn't it gorgeous out here? Before I brought you in here, I said, hey, check this out. We use that expression, check this out, when we want to show people something cool, something beautiful like this. You might find a really cool video on YouTube and say to your friend, hey, check this out. So for me, I said, check this out to show you the beauty of Canada. Check this out.
2 phrasal verbs. To mull over. To think about something over a period of time. To face up to. Accept something and try to deal with it. To come around to. To change your decision or opinion because someone persuaded you. To brush up on. To practice and improve your skills or knowledge of something, especially something you knew better in the past. Can you make a sentence with any of these phrasal verbs? Let me know in the comments. See
A cover up or the phrasal verb to cover up. For example, the Catholic Church liked to cover up all the child abuse scandals. The Catholic Church had another cover up of child abuse scandals. A cover-up is when you try to hide a news story. A politician might try to cover up a negative story about them. But to be honest, the Catholic Church, boy oh boy, were they good at doing cover-ups. Were they good at having cover-ups? Were they good at covering up the terrible crimes the clergy committed? To cover up, to try and hide a crime and to try and get away with it. Fucking disgraceful.
A jerk off to jerk off. If a person is a jerk off, they are very annoying. They don't work hard. You do not want to be around that person. To jerk off is a verb. And if you jerk off, you are masturbating. You're touching yourself with your hands for sexual pleasure, and if you're anything like me, you cry afterwards. So, a jerk off is a person who is very annoying. To jerk off is an action that you do when you want some sexual pleasure without anyone else. Check the description for some real examples.
John will not back down. He will not admit that he is wrong. If you back down from an argument, you admit that you were wrong. You say, I stand corrected, I'm sorry, I was wrong, let's move on. Backing down is not easy. In fact, today, a lot of people cannot back down. Even when they know they're wrong, they refuse to back down. They refuse to admit that they're wrong. Down is to admit that you're wrong.
I love biking around in the summer. To bike around. Phrasal verb for cycling everywhere. Look at that bouncing castle. Beautiful. Do you like biking around in the summer? Let me know in the comments.
Terrible. That's horrible. Where did you learn your English? By God, burn it. Sorry. I was just going through my students' homework, and as you can see, it wasn't very good. Their teacher is terrible. If you go through something, like I was going through the homework just there, it means you're reading it. You're checking it to make sure it's okay. This is the phrasal verb go through. I need to go through some numbers with the accountant. Apparently some money is missing. Before an airplane takes off, the staff go through the safety procedure. They explain it to you. So to go through something is to examine it carefully and to evaluate it, which is what I did. And they're terrible.
To cut down on. My name is Ronan and I have a coffee addiction. I need to cut down on my coffee. Every day I drink maybe 15, maybe 20, maybe 30 coffees. That is way too much. I need to reduce the amount of coffee I drink. I need to drink less coffee. I need to cut down on my coffee. To cut down on is to reduce. To cut down on is to have less of something. Another example, to cut down on your spending. Last week I spent $400 on strippers and below. This week I cut down on my spending. I only spent $100 on strippers and below. To cut down on is to reduce. Do you need to cut down on anything?
Hold on versus on hold. Hold on is a phrasal verb which has many meanings. In this case, we're going to use the example to wait. For example, can you hold on 5 minutes? I need to pee. That means, can you wait 5 minutes because I need to go to the toilet. We have held on long enough, we need to go. So therefore, I'm using it in the past tense. We have held on for 5 minutes. We have waited for 5 extra minutes. Hold on, phrasal verb to wait. On hold. If you ring a credit card company, they will put you on hold. And that's on the phone when they play some nice music. Actually, they usually play shitty music, but that's besides the point. On hold is when you're on the phone and they make you wait and listen to music. I was on hold for 5 hours yesterday. Hold on, phrasal verb. On hold. Noun phrase.
To fork out. To fork out is a phrasal verb which means to pay for something. To pay a lot of money for something, and to pay for something when you don't really want to. For example, last week my dog took a shit in the park, and the dog didn't even clean it up after themselves. The police officer saw me and gave me a ticket for $500. So I had to fork out $500 because of that dog's mistake. Do you think I wanted to pay the ticket? Absolutely not. Did I pay the ticket? Yes. Therefore, I can use fork out. To fork out, phrasal verb, to pay for something.
Okay, here's a great phrasal verb for winter. To warm up. Right now, I'm in the cabin. It's pretty cold. Outside, it's about -5. And I came into this cabin just to record some videos. It's bloody cold in this cabin. I think I'm going to go back into the lodge to warm up by the fire. I'm going to sit by the fire, I'm going to get warm, and then I'm going to come back and go for another walk outside. To warm up is to get warm. You might need to warm up your dinner in the microwave. So, I've been in this cabin. My feet are cold, my hands are cold, my ears are gonna fall off. I'm gonna go warm up by the fire. See you later. Warm up, phrasal verb, to get warm. As you can see, I am in a very, very beautiful place right now. I come here to kick back. To kick back is to relax. To kick back is to not worry about anything. To kick back is to do nothing. When I come up here, I drink coffee, I read, I snowshoe on that lake, and I just relax. I kick back. On a Friday night, I like to kick back and watch a movie. It's my birthday. I'm gonna kick back and have a few beers. So, when I'm up here, I kick back. I relax and I do nothing. What do you do when you want to kick back? To kick back, to relax.
What's up? Alright. I just dipped out of work. To dip out. If you dip out of somewhere, you kind of sneak away. You kind of go away to do something. So I have an appointment, which means I must leave work early. So now I say I just dipped out of work. I left work. I didn't make a big deal. I didn't say goodbye to everybody. I kind of just got up and went. So to dip out is to go somewhere without telling every single person that you're going. Shh. Dip out.
Good morning. So, did you hear the news? Mary is done with John. Yeah, she got home early yesterday and John was there making out with her best friend. So she shouted and she got really angry and she said, "Hey, I'm done with you." So now I'm going to go ask Mary on a date. Hopefully something will happen. To be done with a person means you end the relationship, not on good terms, usually on bad terms. Think about it. Mary comes home. She sees her boyfriend making out with her best friend. Is that good or bad? It's definitely not good. She's angry. She's furious. And she says, "John, I'm done with you. John, our relationship is over. We broke up." So, to be done with a person, the end of a relationship in a bad way. Good morning. Okay, so we have been talking about done with. We can use it for people when you don't want to talk to them anymore, you're done with them. You can use it for your breakfast or for a meal. I'm done with my coffee, I'm done with my food, I'm finished. You can also use it for a job or a task that you have to do. If I say, I'm done with my essay, I'm done with my homework, I'm finished with my homework, I don't need to think about it anymore. And here's another good way to use it. As soon as I am done with my homework, I'll clean the house. As soon as I'm done with my coffee, I'll start my homework. As soon as I'm done with something, I will start something else. So, as soon as I am done with this video, I'll get ready and I'll go to work. There you go, folks. As soon as I'm done with. I am done with your bullshit. To be done with a person's bullshit is to stop talking to them. You don't believe them anymore. Think about someone who pisses you off. Think about someone who lies all the time. And they annoy you. And you've had it up to here with them. And you can't take any more. And one day you kind of snap and you say, "I am done with your bullshit. You're a liar. I don't like you. I don't want to be your friend anymore. Get away from me." Whew. That's pretty extreme. I'd be careful how you use the phrase, "I'm done with your bullshit," but it basically means you don't believe that person anymore and you don't want to be friends or be around them anymore. There you go. Good morning. I am not done with my coffee. Now, I am done with my coffee. If you're done with something, you're finished with it. Think about in a restaurant, the server usually says, "Are you done with your plate? Are you done with your drink?" And they're basically saying, "Are you finished with your food or finished with your drink?" I often tell people, don't talk to me in the morning until I'm done with my coffee, because I will just not listen to you. I don't function without my coffee. I don't function until I'm done with my coffee. So, to be done with is to be finished. In this case, I'm using it for coffee. You can also use it for food and many more. To be done with, to be finished with.
Suck it up already. If you tell a person to suck it up, it basically means quit your complaining. I don't give a shit about what you think. For example, "Oh no, you've a 10-minute walk to work." Well, suck it up and do it. I live in Canada. Sometimes people complain about the snow. They want to take a day off because it's snowing. Well, suck it up. This is Canada. Of course there's snow. I don't care. Just deal with it. If your manager tells you to suck it up, it basically means that you need to work harder. To suck it up. Stop complaining and just get it done. To let up. If something lets up, it reduces the amount of power. For example, yesterday, the snow did not let up at all. It did not stop snowing for 12 hours. For 12 hours, we had constant snow. We had to shovel the roof yesterday because the snow did not let up. The snow did not stop. Thankfully today, the snow has let up for now. If you're driving too fast, you need to let up on the gas. Reduce the gas. I need to let up on my spending. I have spent way too much this month. To let up, to reduce.
Good morning. My name is Ronan, and I feel up to drinking 50 million coffees today. What about you?
Feel up to. If you feel up to something, you want to do something. You have the energy to do something, and you feel like you can do it. For example, do you feel up to climbing Mount Everest? Do you feel up to drinking a few beers? I don't feel up to drinking a few beers, but I do feel up to drinking a shitload of beers. I don't feel up to working out today. I don't feel up to doing housework, and I certainly do not feel up to going out tonight. My questions for you: do you feel up to going out tonight? Do you feel up to working out today? Do you feel up to studying English today? And do you feel up to commenting on this post?
Good morning. So, over the weekend, I wasn't feeling too good. And guys, I did not feel up to doing anything.
Feel up to. I was sick. I didn't feel up to working out, going out, drinking beer, going for a walk, eating dinner, or smoking more weed. I am sick. I don't feel up to making dinner tonight, driving to Vancouver tomorrow, exercising tonight, doing yoga tonight, sticking to my diet, or eating more ice cream.
So, there you go. So tell me, if you're sick, do you feel up to doing anything? What do you feel up to doing, or what don't you feel up to doing? Let me know. Sound off in the comments.
Yo! Okay. What's up? Phrasal verb, to pop out. To pop out means that you're gonna go somewhere to do something, but not necessarily for a very long time. So for example, I just popped out to the hardware store and picked myself up a crowbar. Yep, sure did. Although this says it's called a wrecking bar. All I know is I popped out and I grabbed this yoke, which is pretty freaking awesome. I also popped out to the store to grab myself a saw. And this is what we'd call a hand saw, because obviously you just use it with your hand, it's not a chainsaw. So, we generally use pop out as a phrasal verb when we mightn't have planned to do something, like it's a spur of the moment decision to do it. So like I didn't plan, like it wasn't in my schedule that I would go and buy a fucking chain or a handsaw and a crowbar. But as it turns out, I actually just needed one today. So instead of calling my friends and asking to borrow theirs, myself and my girlfriend decided, fuck it, let's just go buy our own. So in the last like 20 minutes, I just popped out to the store, grabbed the crowbar, grabbed the chainsaw or the handsaw, grabbed a nice set of gloves and some heavy duty garbage bags because I got a bit of I got some shit I need to take care of today. But overall, to pop out. So you might pop out to the store when you're out of milk. You know, that's like something small. It's not like a big grocery shop, it's a small grocery shop. Oh man, I might pop out to the beer store later. I kind of want a drink tonight. So to pop out, to go to a store, to buy something, like with a purpose, generally unplanned. And it's going to be quick, so you go there and you come back. It's not as if you're going to go everywhere and take your time and have a meal. No, that's different. So, my name's Ronan, and I just popped out to the hardware store to pick up some important tools and whatnot. I'm trying to think of a few other examples. I mean, like, let's be honest. Things you might pop out to get. Butter, sugar, toilet paper, paper towel or kitchen paper. Stuff like that. Stuff that you might run out of that you generally need on a day-to-day basis. So, I popped out, grabbed the shit, now I'm back here. And there you go, folks. That's a beautiful phrasal verb. If you want to use it in the future, you just put will. Oh yeah, I'm going to pop out, or I will pop out to the store later to pick up some toilet paper. Something like that. I need to pop out to the store. I just realized I have no batteries and my thing is dead. Whatever it may be. My flashlight. I don't fucking know. But long story short, to pop out, to go to a shop, to do something, to get something, and then come back. So now that I'm done popping out to the store, I need to go and get some work done. So I'll chat to you soon, folks. Bye.
All right, this next phrasal verb is run into. To run into. Are you ready? Here we go.
Our group project ran into problems from the get-go, mainly because John is such a self-centered asshole. Guys, have you ever done a group project with a group of people? A group project is when several people, usually in college or high school or some sort of educational facility, have to work together and make a project, a presentation or something. Now, in theory, this is good because it encourages teamwork. It encourages people to work together and be friends. However, there is always somebody who is lazy and somebody who only cares for themselves. And if you have someone like that, your group project will run into problems. This person is always late. This person doesn't actually do their work. This person is a lazy motherfucker. And they make you run into problems. I had a bad day at work. I kept running into problems. So as you can see, with this example here, I'm using the continuous. I kept running, R-U-N-N-I-N-G. And if you kept running into problems, problems happen again and again and again. So think about it. At your job, have you ever had a day when you kept running into problems? What happened? What was the main issue? My day got off to the worst start. I ran into car trouble on my way to work and had to call my boss. I think he's going to fire me. Well, think about it. Have you ever had a day get off to a bad start? To get off to is to start. So my day got off to a fantastic start. I woke up, I had coffee, and that was it. A normal start. In this case here, the person has car trouble. As you can see from the picture, car trouble, not good. So I had to call my boss. My computer ran into some problems yesterday, so I didn't get my essay done. Simple. Hey John, can you hear me? Yeah, I ran into car trouble, so I won't be able to make the meeting. Sorry, and please don't fire me. Again, just a good way to say, I have a problem. We can say, I ran into a problem. Alright, to run into a brick wall. I actually ran into a brick wall and broke my nose. Never drinking vodka and whiskey together again. So think about it. If you drink vodka and whiskey together, you're going to get drunk. And if you actually ran into a brick wall, you ran face into the wall. Boom. Broke my nose. So that's not good. That is the literal meaning of run into a brick wall. Now, the metaphorical meaning. My essay ran into a brick wall when my computer crashed. So, I grabbed a few beers, and then my college career also ran into a brick wall. If you have an essay that runs into a brick wall, you can't finish it. You've had problems. So my computer crashed. It stopped working. Can I do my essay? No, I can't. Therefore, I say I ran into a brick wall. Now, also, instead of fixing the computer, I went out, drank a couple of beers, and then my college career also ran into a brick wall. Essentially, I have two problems. The first problem is my computer crashing. I can't do my essay. The second problem, I decided to drink a couple of beers and now my college career is finished. If you run into a brick wall, it suddenly stops. It's not good. They can never have a civilized conversation. They always run into a brick wall and shout at each other. Do you know anybody? Or do you know any two people who can never talk to each other? Any conversation runs into a brick wall because they're stubborn. That's what that means. The UN attempt for a peaceful end to the conflict ran into a brick wall when neither country was willing to accept any wrongdoing. Wrongdoing is when you do something bad. And if two countries cannot accept any wrongdoing at all, they cannot admit that they did something bad. The UN, United Nations, they want to end a conflict, they want to bring peace, and we would often use the phrase to run into a brick wall for negotiations. Like this example here. The business merger ran into a brick wall when neither side was willing to compromise. So in this case here, you have two companies, they want to become one, but neither company is willing to compromise. And look at that other picture there with the two people on either side. They can't agree, they can't work together, therefore they run into a brick wall. And the business merger is when two companies become one. Did I say that? I think I did. The business merger ran into a brick wall when it was revealed the CEO was actually a chicken disguised as a human guy. Yeah, that's just my crazy imagination. But let's be real. If you went on a date and it turned out it was actually a chicken, that date would run into a brick wall pretty fast because I'm not dating a chicken. There you go, folks. Here's some questions for you. What do you do when you run into problems? What are some tips for people who panic when they run into problems? And what is the last problem you ran into and how did you deal with it? Let me know. Sound off in the comments. Tell everyone about this video and I hope you don't run into any problems today.
Hello everybody. So, a lot of people have been asking me to make a video about swear words. About fuck, shit, bollocks, those kind of words. Well, you ask and I deliver. So here we go. Today we are going to focus on the word fuck. In particular, the word fuck up. Okay? So there's lots of different ways to use this in the English language, and I'm just going to show you about 7 different ways in which I would use the word fuck up. Okay? So without any further ado, let's jump into the fucking thing. Okay, so the very first example here is that I fucked up my essay I wrote about the wrong topic. So I want you to think about an essay in school that you fucked up. I want you to think about a dinner that you fucked up. How can a person even fuck up dinner? I'll tell you how. You add too much salt. You can't take away salt once you put it on food. You can fuck up dinner by leaving it in the oven for too long. And I fucked up my essay because I wrote about the goddamn wrong fucking topic. So if you write about the wrong topic, you have made a mistake. So in this case here, the word fucked up is related to writing, is related to an essay, and is related to a mistake. I fucked up my dinner. I put too much salt in. I messed up my dinner. I made a mistake. I added too much salt to my dinner. So in this case, in number 1, fuck up is going to be used as a mistake. You might say, oh, I always fuck up that dinner. I better make something else. You know, whenever I'm making rice, my girlfriend always tells me I fuck it up. Yes, I am the kind of person that fucks up making rice. I make mistakes when making rice. So fuck up in this case is to make a mistake. Alright, here's fucked up in 2 different examples which are very similar in sound. So I got fucked up last night. I had so much fun. I got fucked up last night. I fell down the stairs. So I want you just to think for yourself. If you're fucked up, how can you have fun? How is it possible to have fun when you're fucked up on a night out? I think the second example, number 3, is more self-explanatory. I got fucked up last night. I fell down the stairs. So if you fall down the stairs, how do you feel? Good or bad? Well, generally speaking, you do not feel good, so you probably feel pretty bad. If you fall down the stairs and you crack your neck, you break your wrist, your arm is in pieces or something, yeah, you fucked up. You got fucked up. So in the example of number 3, to get fucked up last night, I fell down the stairs, means that you got hurt. Hurt very badly. You tripped walking down the stairs. Oh, I got fucked up last night when I was hiking. I was hiking down the mountain and suddenly I was rolling down the mountain. Now in number 2, I got fucked up last night. I had so much fun. Thinking back to my college days, there was quite a few times when people got fucked up and had a lot of fun. If you get fucked up in number 2's case, you're basically either drunk or high. More or less, you are not in control of your body. Because you are under the influence of substances, such as alcohol or drugs, okay? And of course, yes, you can have fun when you indulge in alcohol or drugs. Not all the time, though. But in this case, I got fucked up last night. It was great. Well, I generally don't do it, but a lot of people do, and a lot of people are quite happy to get fucked up. So for number 2, I would say it's under the influence of drink or drugs in a positive way. Now, to be honest, you can also get fucked up in a bad way. And that brings us on to number 4. Unfortunately, in the town I live in, there's a lot of people who are, for lack of better words, who are extremely fucked up. In the example of number 4, if a person is fucked up in a bad way, it means they're going through a hard time. They might be under the influence of drugs, and they might very well be addicted to drugs. Now, it's not a nice thing to say. It's not a nice way to describe someone like that. However, it is used quite a lot on the street with informal colloquial English. I personally don't condone it, but hey, I'm just your English teacher. It's up to you to decide if you want to use it or not. So that person looks really fucked up. If a person looks fucked up, they might have the shakes. They might be sweating a lot. They might not be able to talk. They might be shouting at themselves. They might be talking to themselves. They might be walking in the middle of the road, for example. Just think to the homeless people in your city or your town. Think to people who are addicted to drugs. How do they behave? Not good, because those people are fucked up. And if you're fucked up, you need help. If you know someone who is fucked up on drugs, get off YouTube and go help them, alright? So being fucked up is not good in this case. In number 2, it's positive. In number 4, it's negative. Okay? Now, you could also say like, oh, I got way too fucked up last night. And if you are way too fucked up, you're too drunk, you're too high, you are too under the influence, and you need to stop. So too fucked up can be quite bad as well. So already we have seen fucked up and how we can 1, make a mistake, 2, get drunk or get high in a positive way, 3, get physically hurt, 4, to be under the influence of drugs and possibly addicted to drugs. Not good. Moving on. I downed 7 shots and then drove. I fucked up my car. I hit a wall. Yeah, well done, you dumbass. Never drink and drive. You hear me? If I find out you were drinking and driving, I will not be happy. I'll ban you. How about that? But honestly, to down 7 shots is to just drink shots and then drive. That's extremely stupid. You should never do that. But some people, they do. Why? Because they're fuck-ups. Because they're idiots. So if you down 7 shots and then you drive and you crash your car, you have fucked up your car. Your car is not going to work. You destroy the engine. You hit a wall. Well, what happens? The wall is usually stronger than your car. I fucked up my phone. I dropped it. I fucked up my laptop. I spilled water all over it.
I was drinking coffee and I dropped my coffee on my laptop. Therefore, my laptop is fucked up. Okay? So to fuck up in number 5 is to destroy something. Again, here we go. That fighter got fucked up. Now, if a fighter gets fucked up, do you think that that fighter has won a fight or lost a fight? Tell you what, it's not good if you get fucked up in a fight. If you get fucked up in a fight, the other person beat the hell out of you. Maybe they broke your nose, they gave you panda eyes, they shattered your elbow, they snapped your arm, and they're only getting started. So in this case here, in the case of number 6, that fighter got fucked up. It means that you got beat up physically. Okay? It means that you physically are bruised and broken all over. Similar to example number 5, except I just wanted to show you how a person can get fucked up as well as an object. And the last one, you are such a fuck up. So here's how we use it as a noun phrase. If you call somebody a fuck up, well, you can see number 7 there, it means that they cannot do anything right. Okay? So if a person is a fuck up, they keep making mistakes. You can teach them as many times as you want, but they will never learn. Okay? Sometimes you just can't fix stupid. Fact. So think about it. Do you know anybody who's a fuck up? I know a lot of people who are fuck ups. Not going to mention any names here, but I'm sure you do too. Just think about that person who always makes a mistake. Think about that person who never does the right thing. Anything like that at all is a fuck up. Okay? So, let's have a little bit of revision. Number 1, fucked up my essay. You made a mistake. Generally speaking, a big mistake. Number 2, you got drunk. Number 3, you got hurt. Number 4, high on drugs, not doing so good, not doing so well. You need to help that person, okay? 5, I downed 7 shots and drove. I fucked up my car. I destroyed my car. Number 6, that fighter got fucked up. Now, if a fighter gets fucked up, they lose the fight, but they lose it in a terrible manner. They had the worst fight of their freaking careers. And in number 7, you are such a fuck up. Fuck up, you cannot do anything right. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. That's the fucking show right now. That was just a very quick, what are we on? We're on 11 minutes. So just about 11 minutes teaching you 7 different ways and how you can use the word fuck up.
Good morning. All right, let's have a look at pig out. To pig out is a beautiful phrasal verb, and it basically means that you eat everything and anything. If you see some chocolate, you eat it. If you see some ice cream, you eat the ice cream. For example, last weekend I pigged out. I ate poutine. I ate chocolate. I ate ice cream. I ate chips. I ate a burger. I ate all the unhealthy food. And if you eat all the unhealthy food, you pig out. I couldn't help myself. I just pigged out for the weekend and now I feel sick. When is the last time that you pigged out? Me, I love to pig out when I'm watching Game of Thrones or some epic movie. I always pig out on popcorn, on fries, on everything unhealthy. To pig out, a phrasal verb, to eat, and eat.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, you beautiful people around the world. Right now, we're going to take a look at 2 different phrasal verbs and what they mean and how you can use them in your day-to-day lives. The first one, to figure out. I want you to think about a subject in school that you could never figure out. Think about a problem that you had that it took so long, took about 2 hours to figure out. And think about a person who you just can't figure out at the moment. So, for the very first one, when I was in school, I could never figure out mathematics. It was horrible. It was impossible for me. I would look at the most simple equation and guess what? Could not figure it out for my life. If someone put a gun to my head and told me to do this math equation, I'd pull the trigger for them because that was easier than trying to figure out the math equation. So in this case, to figure out a problem would be mathematics. I could never understand it. I could never figure it out. I could never get my head around mathematics. Now, when it came to languages, such as French or Irish, I had no problem figuring those out because I enjoyed them. Everybody is different. So in school, what was a subject that you could never figure out? Another example of this would be car trouble. I hate car trouble. Last summer, I was having a problem with my lights. The indicator, or blinker, as North Americans call it, was not working. So, I was driving and I would hit my indicator and all of a sudden the guy behind me would freak out because my car starts moving across the road. Now, I had a choice. I could go to a garage and they would charge me an arm and a leg to get the car fixed. Or I could just go on YouTube and figure it out myself. Obviously, I chose the latter. So what I mean by the latter is I went onto YouTube. I Googled Chevrolet Uplander change lights. Within 5 minutes, I figured out how to change the lights myself. It's not rocket science, it's actually incredibly easy. I'm thankful that we live in a world where we have every single answer that we need on the internet. So I figured out how to change the lights in my car without having to go to a garage and without having to pay an arm and a leg. This example here, figure out a person. What does it mean if you cannot figure out a person? I can't figure out that person over there. I have no idea what they're thinking. I have no idea what they're planning to do in the future. I have no idea if they're nice or if they're a horrible person. If you go on a first date, you might try to figure out the person. You might be thinking, who is this? What do they really want? If you're doing business with someone, you might want to try figure out what their motives really are. So in this case, to figure out a person is to try and understand them. Try to get into their head, okay? If you are an athlete and you're in a competition, you need to figure out your opponent. If you're playing poker with a group of people, you might be more interested in figuring out who the other poker players are, more so than the actual cards. And the same even if you're playing chess. You might not be worried about the actual figurines on the board. You might be more focused on figuring out who that person is and trying to figure out what their plans are. So there you go. Just a couple examples of how we can use figure out. I figured the problem out myself. I will figure out this problem myself. Have you figured out this problem? And that's how we use it in different tenses and also as a question. Will you be able to figure out the math problem? There you go, guys. Figure out. Now my question for you is, have you figured out all the different ways to use figure out? All right, moving on to give back. Give back has a wide variety of meanings, okay? And in this example here, to physically return something. If you, for example, take a book from a library, you need to give it back in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, or a month, depending on the rules. If you borrow something from your friend, you should give it back as soon as possible, okay? To give back is to physically return something. That's the most basic meaning of give back. Now, this other example here. I like to use this one as you might want to give something back to your community. I don't know about you, but I had a great experience in high school. I mean, there were some bad days, of course, but a lot of the time it was fun. And my school is in terrible condition, absolutely terrible. The walls are not painted, the lights are falling down, everything was bad. Now, they put out a notice last week asking for people to come in and help paint the walls. So I decided to volunteer my time. Why? Because I'm giving back to the school. Now, I'm not physically giving them anything, I'm giving them effort, I'm giving them work, and I'm giving them manpower and hours. So in this case here, it's to return a good deed. If your friend helps you out with something that's quite difficult, you might want to give back a favor to them. And that means that you're going to help them with something that they are finding difficult. Okay? So let me see, anything else I can say about give back? Not really. No, I'm just looking at my notes down there. When's the last time? Yeah, so think about it. When is the last time that you gave something back to your community or gave something back to a friend? Now I'm going to leave you with a couple of questions. Just one. Have you figured out what give back means? And if you have, leave a comment. My name is Ronan. This is English on the Road. Follow me on Instagram, email me, and join my WhatsApp group. Thanks for listening, guys, and I hope you learned something. Take care and have a goddamn beautiful day.
And it's Wednesday morning. It's already about 25 degrees, so I'm walking in the shade, not in the sun. And the reason I'm walking is because I have just dropped off my car at the garage. Dropped off. So to drop off is a phrasal verb with a lot of different meanings. And in this example in particular, drop off means to deliver, to drive the car to the place, put it there, and leave. You know, a parent might drop off a kid at school. The bus dropped me off at school today 10 minutes early, for example. My friend, they left their phone at my house yesterday, so I dropped the phone off to them this morning. I drove to my friend's house, I said hello, I gave him the phone, and I drove away. I did not stay. That is drop off. Will you drop off the car for me, please? What are you doing today? Oh, I need to drop off my car at the garage. And they were just some examples of how to use drop off. You can use it in the future, you can use it in the present, and you can use it in the past, and you can even use it as a question. Anyways, I am making my way to work right now, so I will talk to you very soon. That's a good one. To make your way somewhere is another way to say to go. I am making, present continuous, I am making my way to work. I made my way to work yesterday at about 10 o'clock in the morning. And of course, if you want to use the future, tomorrow I'll make my way to your house at about 10 o'clock. How's that sound? So there you go, 2 lessons right there for the price of 1. We have drop off, which is to deliver, and we have to make your way somewhere, which is to go. So now I'm going to drop off this and go get myself a coffee. Hey, drop off has lots of meanings. It's a phrasal verb. Of course it has lots of meanings. I dropped off on my way to work to grab a coffee. I'm addicted to coffee. So what do you think that means? To drop off on my way to work to grab a cup of coffee. Let me know.
And there you go. Alright, so drop off is a phrasal verb with a lot of different meanings. Today I dropped off my car at the garage. I drove, I left my car at the garage, and I walked away. The bus dropped me off earlier. The bus arrived, I got off the bus, and the bus drove away. So it dropped me off. I dropped off to my friend's house yesterday to give them the phone. So I have my friend's phone, I drive to his house, I give him the phone, and I do not stay, I drive away. That is to drop off, okay? There is lots of other meanings, but we're not focusing on those today. Now, the other one I gave you was to make your way. I am making my way. I will make my way there at 5 p.m., for example. So just another way to say to go. There you go, people. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And yeah, have a great day. Back to my coffee.
And that, my friends, is 1 hour of phrasal verbs. I really hope you enjoyed. Now remember, if you want to remember these phrasal verbs, you're going to have to make sentences and make them personal. So I gave you a whole bunch of phrasal verbs. Choose one, make a sentence connected to your life. That will help you remember them. My name is Ronan. This is Little Seal English. Do me a favor, subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, tell your friends, go outside and bark at a dog and you tell that dog, hey, check out Ronan's 1 hour video about phrasal verbs. Okay, I'm going to head on. I'm going to get some shit together for my next video on YouTube. In the meantime, check out my socials and I will see you when I see you. Thanks for stopping by.